Today is April 19th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're on Chapter 7, Working with Others. We'll be reading page 95. Out of the 12 and 12, we're still plugging along at Step 12. It's a long chapter, but a good one. We are on page 118, and of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this beautiful Sunday morning. Life is good over here. Back to my morning routine. I've been sleeping in the last few days, but I am back to my morning routine of a giant cup of coffee in my Yoda mug at about 3 in the morning. So it's just nice to wake up sober, no shakes, no hangovers, no blackouts to wake up from. It's nice to wake up sober, happy, joyous, and free today. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, if you recall from yesterday's reading, we have been really making it clear that by working with others, oftentimes it helps us more than anybody else. I think it said it at least twice on page 94. For he has helped you more than you have helped him. And then actually a little higher up on the page, actually he may be helping you more than you're helping him. So it's literally almost repeating the exact same line right there in working with others. So it's kind of like a down payment on our own sobriety in a lot of ways, even if they don't get sober, which for me, my batting average as a sponsor has not been great, but somehow I've still been able to stay sober. And I hope and pray that the ones who went back out, maybe they eventually found help. I hope so. But anyway, we are on page 95. Unless your friend wants to talk further about himself, do not wear out your welcome. Give him a chance to think it over. If you do stay, let him steer the conversation in any direction he likes. Sometimes a new man is anxious to proceed at once, and you may be tempted to let him do so. This is sometimes a mistake. If he has trouble later, he's likely to say that you rushed him. You'll be most successful with alcoholics if you do not exhibit any passion for crusade or reform. Never talk down to an alcoholic from any moral or spiritual hilltop. Simply lay out the kit of spiritual tools for his inspection. Show him how they worked for you. Offer him friendship and fellowship. Tell him that if he really wants to get well, you will do anything to help. If he's not interested in your solution, if he expects you to act only as a banker for his financial difficulties or a nurse for his sprees, you may have to drop him until he changes his mind. This he may do after he gets hurt some more. If he is sincerely interested and wants to see you again, ask him to read this book in the interval. After doing that, he must decide for himself whether he wants to go on. He should not be pushed or prodded by you, his wife, or his friends. If he is to find God, the desire must come from within. If he thinks that he can do the job in some other way or prefers some other spiritual approach, encourage him to follow his own conscience. We have no monopoly on God. We merely have an approach that worked with us. But point out that we alcoholics have much in common and that you would like, in any case, to be friendly. Let it go at that. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all our affairs. And yesterday we talked about how sobriety oftentimes improves marriages. It is how to be more happily married by eliminating some severe emotional twists that may have so often stemmed from alcoholism. So we're on the bottom of page 117 and we'll read 118. When alcoholism strikes, very unnatural situations may develop which work against marriage partnership and compatible union. If the man is affected, the wife must become the head of the house, often the breadwinner. As matters get worse, the husband becomes a sick and irresponsible child who needs to be looked after and extricated from endless scrapes and impasses. Very gradually, and usually without realization of the fact, the wife is forced to become the mother of an erring boy. And if she had a strong maternal instinct to begin with, this situation is aggravated. Obviously, not much partnership can exist under these conditions. The wife usually goes on doing the best she knows how, but meanwhile, the alcoholic alternately loves and hates her maternal care. A pattern thereby is established that may take a lot of undoing later on. Nevertheless, under the influence of AA's 12 steps, these situations are often set right. When the distortion has been great, however, a long period of patient striving may be necessary. After the husband joins AA, the wife may become discontented, even highly resentful at Alcoholics Anonymous, that it has done the very thing that all of her years of devotion had failed to do. Her husband may become so wrapped up in AA and his new friends that he's inconsiderately away from home more than when he drank. Seeing her unhappiness, he recommends AA's 12 steps and tries to teach her how to live. She naturally feels that for years she has made a far better job of living than he has. Both of them blame each other and ask when their marriage is ever going to be happy again. They may even begin to suspect that it had never been any good in the first place. "24 hours a day, April 19th. AA thought for the day. Since I've been putting sobriety into my life, I've been getting a lot out of good things. I can describe it best as a kind of quiet satisfaction. I feel good. I feel right with the world. On the right side of the fence. As long as I put sobriety in my life, almost everything I take out is good. The satisfaction you get out of living a sober life is made up of a lot of little things. You have the ambition to do things you didn't feel like doing when you were drinking. Am I getting satisfaction out of living a sober life? Meditation for the day. It is a glorious way, the upward way. There are wonderful discoveries in the realm of the Spirit. There are tender intimacies in the quiet times of communion with God. There is an amazing, almost incomprehensible understanding of the other person. On the upward way, you can have all the strength that you need from that higher power. You cannot make too many demands on Him for strength. He gives you all the power that you need, as long as you're moving along the upward way. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may see the beautiful horizons ahead on the upward way. I pray that I may keep going forward to the more abundant life. Daily Reflection, April 19th. Brothers in our defects. We recovered alcoholics are not so much brothers in virtue as we are brothers in our defects and in our common strivings to overcome them. As Bill sees it, page 167. The identification that one alcoholic has with another is mysterious, spiritual, almost incomprehensible. But it is there. I feel it. Today I feel that I can help people and that they can help me. It is a new and exciting feeling for me to care for someone. To care for what they are feeling, hoping for, praying for. To know their sadness, joy, horror, sorrow, grief. To want to share those feelings so that someone can have relief. I never knew how to do this, or how to try. I never even cared. The fellowship of AA and God are teaching me how to care about others. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. It's, some great stuff today. My goodness. First of all, on page 95 of the Big Book, I think it's interesting that the last paragraph, it says, if he thinks he can do the job some other way or prefers some other spiritual approach, encourage him to follow his own conscience. We have no monopoly on God. We merely have an approach that has worked with us. I have to remember a lot of times that although I think that the 12 steps are incredible and could work for any human being, whether you're an alcoholic or not, to live a more peaceful and happy life, I also have to remember that it's their choice. And if they find an approach that somehow works for them to keep them sober, power to you. That's amazing. All I can say is that this has truly helped me to stay sober. That's the one thing I can say with confidence. And the people that I see in the meetings. But again, I got to remember that this program has no monopoly on God. And real quick, out of the 12 and 12, talking about marriage, I will say this, at least in my experience, my wife, she could have taken two paths for sure. Actually, probably many different paths, but the two that I can immediately think of is she could have left me, or she could have stayed with me and blamed me, even after the fact that I was sober, brought up all of the scars from my past, all the mistakes that I had made while drinking, in my selfishness and self-centeredness. She very well could have. She had plenty of ammo. But my wife didn't do that when I got sober. My wife is a very special person. And honestly, she's my teammate, my partner. And we grew up together physically and also spiritually. But while I was getting sober and doing the steps for the first time, she started to look within herself and do her own kind of work. And we both worked individually, and we both worked together. And now, hand on the Bible here, guys, a lot of times, oftentimes, I have been guilty of looking at the grass on the other side, right? That the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. I have learned through experience, especially in sobriety, that if I take the time to water my own, everything I could have ever wanted and more is right in front of me. And that kind of ties into the 24 hours a day, all the things that I have gained in sobriety. I love this line. You have the ambition to do things you didn't feel like doing when you were drinking. That is so true. I was so afraid that when I stopped drinking, that, there goes the fun. What am I going to do now? I didn't even know who I was without the bottle. But now that I put the bottle down, I have tried new things over time. And I think it's because I'm a lot more confident in my higher power and a lot less self-conscious about what other people think of me. I'm like, okay, if I screw up doing this new thing, who cares? I don't care if I look like a jackwagon. A couple years ago, I picked up a skateboard. I hadn't skateboarded since I was in high school. And of course, all my buddies, they give me a hard time. They're like, hey man, you might need a cane after you're done. But I still skate. Another thing that I put down for years is playing hockey, literally playing hockey. I watch it religiously, but I hadn't played in a long time. So, now my personal goal is I've got a certain health goal I want to hit by my birthday. And if I hit that goal, I'm going to get a steel hockey net, official size. And back when I was a teenager, I used to tie these little milk jugs to this old steel net I used to have. And I would fire pucks at it, at the milk jugs for target practice. I haven't done that since I would say, honestly, 17 or 18 years old. I'm about 40 now. I'm bringing it back. Trying new things. I'm picked up a banjo a couple years ago. I'm trying to teach myself how to play. Little things like that. All these ambitions, the courage to try new things, and courage to bring things back that I used to love. I would have done these things if I was still drinking. You know what I would be doing? I'd be right here in this garage without the cats. Just drinking some more. And that was it. Because I know that for a fact, because that's where I was, and I know that my disease is progressive. So if I were to go back out, it would just be worse. My life was not only unmanageable when I was drinking, but it got boring. But anyway, my friend, wow, I have rambled way over. If you are sober, my friend, I hope you know that you're a miracle. And if you are not sober, my friend, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well, and you are worthy of recovery. I am so grateful you're here today, and I pray that you would get the help that you need. And my friends, if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.